my leather bag here, it wasn't cheap, but I know that thing's going to last, just as long as I'm not, don't abuse it, it'll probably last for the rest of my life.
Well, and part of it too is when you know that things fall apart. We have a situation now where it doesn't matter what you pay for something, it's crap. Right? Like,
yes.
There is no quality.
There is no quality option. Like, I could pay $500 for a printer and it's going to die in a year and just stop working anyway. I could pay like $1,000 for a dress and the hems aren't finished and it has no lining. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, it used to be that if you were going to pay, you feel me on the dress, right?
Yeah.
It used to be if you were going to like buy a piece of designer clothing, this was a classic item. It was going to last you 20, 30 years. You were going to be able to sell it at the consignment shop for good money as well.
Yep.
Like good quality pieces. Now, if you buy a designer item, it's just as crappy as whatever you bought at H&M. It just has a different label.
Yeah, that's where I think we're seeing a big shift is in the fashion space. And I think a lot of the younger generations are more focused on sustainability and even more focused on cottons, things like that, better materials.
I think you're right. Like, but I'm less versed in fashion, but I know that like if I am going to go buy a tool, I'm not going to go to Harbor Freight, right? I'm going to go buy a DeWalt, or I'm going to go buy, a good a Craftsman, a good quality tool that I know that I can, bring back to the manufacturer and be like, yo, this broke if something breaks on it. But you go to Harbor Freight, you're getting what you pay for. Now, I know there are people that love Harbor Freight stuff, love Harbor Freight because they love that cheap stuff. But you can't deny that the quality is not the same. And so I think that it does go beyond just, fashion and stuff.
Well, I think people are a lot simpler than politicians or these economists make them out to be. It's like consumer choice, right? If they have options, they're going to look, they're going to see, like you said, if it's provided, maybe the study shows they don't go that way. But I think right now what you're having, the argument from America First folks is, look, if we can make this an equal playing field, if we can get China to have to not, be able to compete with a price that's a third the cost, then there will be this opportunity for these products to come in. Here's the problem. Politically, you only have a year.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyone that ever tries to do this, you have 1 year that you have to have not just the changes made, but then the products have to start coming in. But most importantly, the voters have to feel the change. Right. When we talk about these numbers that come out of the White House, when we talk about all these high level things, I just think at the end of the day, when people walk into the voting booth, and by the way, the reason I'm always bringing it back to the voting booth is, that's why these politicians are making the decisions they're making, right? As they're trying to figure that out. But for them to get these changes in place in time, we're talking about these changes have to be done by the end of this year. And then you've got to have products start coming in, and they've got to start feeling that by the summer of 2026. It's going to be quick. But to me, I just think people, I'm not calling them stupid. I just think that most normal people, they're trying to pay their mortgage, put food on the table.
Yeah.
What are the options? And I think a lot of them don't trust right now this idea that, well, there is a quality product. Because I'm 33 years old. There aren't a lot of quality products that I've seen in my lifetime. It's all cheap garbage.
All crap.
Yeah.
All of it. And it all breaks. And then it all just falls apart. And then you're just like, I worked really hard. I got paid. I spent my money on this. And now it's in the gutter.
Yeah, and I think Americans are genuinely pissed off about that situation.
It's so infuriating, right? It's so.
I think it's one of those things where like people don't realize they are until like something breaks, and then they realize, this is frustrating, and then it goes away. But then when it's something that kind of stays in the back of their mind, but they don't really think about it.
Well, they ordered on Amazon. It's there in 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Well, and now there's
rinse,
the
wash,
new thing
repeat.
where it's like hard to return stuff too. It's hard to they make it like increasingly harder to return things.
I'm not sure what the deal is with Amazon lately, but I've had like 3 orders that I've ordered in the past like 3 weeks and have issues getting to my house.
Last year I bought a pair of shoes for my son, and instead of the shoes I ordered, it was a pair of used Reeboks with gum on the bottom.
Oh my
It
gosh.
showed up in the box, and I was so grossed out and horrified. Yeah, and I couldn't get any response, and I think I had to like take to Twitter to be like,
Hey,
look
fix
at
this.
this.
Do you guys actually take the time to return things? If we're talking like something that's under $50?
I usually
depends on what it
do,
is.
but they'll just give me the money. They'll just be like, fine, just keep it and keep the thing. If I like it broke, or if it's any kind of food product, they don't want it back. So if they send you the wrong food product, you just tell them and they'll refund you on the fly. I don't abuse it, but sometimes they'll literally, like you said, Phil, I'll get like 3 orders in a row will be wrong every once in a while. I got a wave of it like 2 months ago. I don't know if you guys did. 2 months ago,
I just think we have it so good and don't realize it, because I think the majority of people, and I get it, some people are having tough times, but the majority of people, you order like a shirt for $30 and it comes in, it's the wrong size. Are you really going through the process of getting the return label, sending it back? I just think a lot of people, they're not doing that.
Well, that's why they make it harder to return it, because they know that if it's hard to return, most people are just going to eat that $30.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.